Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Varsha and I love doing makeup videos. Today's video is for someone who has no makeup brushes so that you guys can buy a similar brush that I used for this video. Or if you have a couple of brushes, you could probably see if you have something similar, and this one brush, this works wonders. It's pretty cool. As always, before we move on, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed watching it by the end of it. But you can obviously subscribe right now if you want. Let's start with a bare face. You can see how dry my skin is. It is so matte. I have not a single reflective area right now. But the secret to this makeup look depends on prep and technique. You know how I'm crazy about the rose ink eye cream, but I think I used this the last time and it didn't work well with the prep that I followed after this. I will instead go in with either or of these, and I'm thinking which one. Maybe I'll go in with this BIOSSANCE eye cream. A very well-loved cream. I can already see value sets of these going up on Sephora. Like, I think, you know, because of the holiday season and stuff. So if you guys like a quick absorbing eye cream that is very supple or leaves your skin very supple, I would highly recommend this one. I think I'm just lightly tapping this into my under eyes here. Now for face moisturizer, I'm going to go in with the BOBBI Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, but this one is not as emollient as I want it to be for my skin. So I'm going to use 1 or 2 drops of the KIEHL'S Midnight Recovery Concentrate. I'll just go in with 1 drop for each half of the face. This drop of oil adds enough slip, you know, for the moisturizer not only to spread out very nicely, but it even leaves a nice radiant finish. So the rose ink eye cream has like a crushed pearl kind of finish to it, and I remember that once I'd applied this as in the moisturizer and along with this oil, I did get some pilling of that eye cream. The way I came up with this look was I wanted to create a nice base for this concealer. This is the BOBBI Brown Intensive Skin Serum Concealer. It even has like a cool BOBBI Brown crest. I remember how this concealer, I tried it like 2-3 times and it always just clung onto the dry spots on my face. So I knew I needed something that was super oily, something with a lot of slip to be able to distribute this well. But you know me, before we move on with anything, I am gonna start correcting. I'll just use this applicator tip and apply it straight under my under eyes here, and we'll just blend it using our fingers. Another thing you must know is that I have a couple of dry spots on my face, and this will obviously latch onto that, but you know, I didn't want to do any kind of peel today. Anyway, for base, this is the one I'm going to be using today. And finally, here's a big reveal. The brush that I'm going to be using is this one, which is the Spectrum X KJH brush in the number 8. This brush is so versatile. It can be used for almost anything. You can see it's kind of dome shaped. It is very flexible. The bristles are really nice and flexible, and it is super soft. This is a synthetic brush, so it makes it easier for products like this to just smear all over the face, okay? Putting a little bit of concealer right here. And I like to work as I go with this because if you let this sit, I think, on your skin for too long, it'll almost like stain it, so you don't want that to happen. I'm only gonna put this on like close to the center of my face, because later on we're anyway going to be putting bronzer. Spreading this way. And I'll also put some just on the center of my chin. We just apply a little bit of this Too Faced concealer in the under eyes. Even go with it here. All in areas where I just want some extra coverage. I'll obviously start with areas that are easy to blend out. So here on the sides of my face, and even this one here. And here I'm just gonna more like tap it around so that, you know, it doesn't move all that corrector beneath. And now the eyelids, you're gonna tackle like one problem at a time. So I'm just pulling this all the way outside here. Now for the under eyes, I'm just going to very gradually just pat this so that it's evenly spread, and I can even take care of any of those areas where the corrector seemed to skip. I'm going to pull this a little lower so that it covers those dry patches that I have if possible. Using the brush, I'll just quickly blend out these edges with like a very light touch. But I'm not really going into the under eye area yet. I just want to more like spread this or take any extra product just like everywhere on my face. I'm just pressing under my eyes. I'm looking up so that they kind of don't collect into fine lines. I'm going to go in with some little bit of bronze and contouring, and I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Stick in medium. Nice to add a little bit of dimension to your face this way. Going with this under my jawline, give it a little structure here on the tip here, and just kind of connect this part down. Nothing too harsh, I'm just going really nice and soft with the same brush and creating a little bit of a shadow here. I would have loved to go in with my Rare Beauty blush, but I'm guessing because of all this texture that I have on my skin, I'd rather just go in with this powder. This is just the MAC blush in the shade Gingerly, one of my favorites. I'm just like lightly tapping this all on the areas that I want to apply the blush. So here, really high up on my cheek. I didn't dip it in the blush yet because I want to make sure that I didn't go in with too much on one side. So I'm just using the same, take some on my nose too. Remember, I still haven't set my concealer. Now that I'm happy with all the products that are laid down, I'm going to use a little bit of this Laura Mercier setting powder. If you want a little coverage, you can even use a powder foundation. Lightly smoothing this here. I want to bring some life back into the face, so I'm just going to use this Rare Beauty blush in the shade Nearly Apricot, and using my fingers, just 2 fingers, I'll just lightly tap over. It just brings like some luminosity back on the cheeks. For bronzer, I'm going to use my very broken Hoola, and we just add some intensity to that bronze almost. Just taking this on any of the areas that I've taken that Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Stick. I just very lightly saturated one end of the brush, and I'm just like working it, lightly skimming it under my eyes here. For a little more eye definition, I'm going to use this gouache pencil, and I'll just like start skimming it on the outer bit, like the outer third of my eye. Shape how I want this with the tail of the brush. I'm going to show you how you can do this even with your finger, and I'll just start tapping this, mainly the edges, so the upper edge first and then the lower edge, and it brings some nice definition here. So I'm just going to give my lashes a nice little curl. I'm going to use this Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara, which is probably the last one on this planet because the brand no longer exists. Anyway, I'm just squiggling this right through my lashes. Finally, I've come to highlighter. I'm going to use this Dior one. You can use obviously any highlighter that you're comfortable with. And I'll just lightly place this on the highest points. Finally comes lips. I'm just going to use this Spice pencil from MAC all over. Endless Cacao, just to bring some shadow back into the lips. And I just want to lightly just blend this all. By the way, I'm sure you might have clearly realized that I did my brows before I could start this makeup, and I'll link it up here. In fact, it was while doing this brow video that I had actually decided, like, you know what, let me just try using one brush and do my makeup. Anyway, for lip gloss, I'm going to be using this Maybelline Lifter Gloss, and this is in the shade 008 Stone. I just tied up all my hair again, and now quickly, if you are looking for a brush like this, try to go for a synthetic brush about this much. It has to be a little domed, like a very soft dome on top, and the bristles have to be nice and soft and flexible. And such a brush is not too dense, neither is it too loose. I'll just hit my face with some setting spray. And one last time, I'm just going to use a powder like this and just quickly set just some areas here where I don't want too much shine. Now before we guys wrap up, I must tell you how important it is to clean your brushes. I use just a brush cleaner. I think I use the Beauty Blender one, or I even have a Sigma brush cleaner along with the brush mat. And I never use my brushes more than twice. I won't lie, before I used to go in with it even like 5 times before I would wash it, but now I realize how important it is to clean your brushes because they can harbor so much bacteria, and you know, if that bacteria gets transferred onto your skin, you're gonna have breakouts. And well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. See you guys soon. I have some videos here you guys might be interested in watching. Bye bye.